And I don't know what her husband thought about it. I mean, when we read this passage, we see a woman making a decision. We don't know if her husband said anything. We don't know if he ever came to her support. We don't know if Moses was born and he saw his son and he just turned away and hardened his heart and she was left there to make those decisions on her own. We don't know. We don't know. But you know what I feel really confident in saying about Jochebed? I feel really confident in saying that she thought she had no choice. She thought there is no way, no choice that I can make that can turn this situation and this circumstance into a win. That can turn, there's nothing that I can choose. I can either sit here and wait for the day that the soldiers come into my hut, or what? What can I choose? What are my options? I have no options. You know, when your two best options shake out to be either sit back and wait for soldiers to rush into your home and take your child, or put him in a basket and send him down the river, you're not in a good situation. And you don't feel empowered to choose. You feel defeated. You feel powerless. You feel like the victim of your circumstances. You don't feel like the risk-taking heroine of the Exodus saga. You feel like it's over. And of course, Jochebed wasn't thinking about any of that. She wasn't thinking about Exodus, or she wasn't thinking about Israel, wasn't thinking about delivering the Hebrew people from slavery. She just wanted one more day. One more day. Give me one more day with my son. You know, I often think of that moment that she had to make that choice. Why did she make that choice? What was it that caused her to make it? Sometimes, because the choices that we have are not the choices that we want, we begin to believe the lie that we have no choice at all. But we do. That's not true. We always have a choice, because the choices that we have ahead of us are not the choices that we wish we had. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been in those situations before, and I know lots of people that are in them. Maybe you're in this situation tonight. You came in here and you find yourself between two choices. Both of them look bad. For some of you, maybe it's the pain of staying in a marriage that's miserable. Every day, day in and day out, you wake up and you think, I can't stay in here one more day. But then the other choices, leaving, whatever other choices you have, those open up pain of a different kind. And so on the one hand, there's a choice of pain of staying. On the other hand, there's a choice of pain of leaving. Which pain do you choose? Which pain do you choose? Some of you, this is a story of a mother and a son. Some of you have kids that are going through things right now. They're putting you through so much pain. And you have choices that you need to make about them, and none of them seem good. The choice of letting go, the choice of hanging on. What is it that you choose? There's one kind of pain this way. There's another kind of pain this way. Both of them are bad choices. You might think to yourself, I don't have a choice. You know, here's a common one I think that a lot of us struggle with. The choice to be honest, or the choice to continue to hide. Sometimes we know we need to come clean and confess something to somebody. We know we need to come clean and tell the truth to someone, the real truth. We need to tell someone the things we're struggling with. We need to tell someone the things that we're dealing with. But the pain of honesty is in one direction. You know? There's a short-term pain of honesty, but then there's the other kind of pain of living a life of hiding, not coming clean. Which pain do you choose? And that's where Jochebed found herself. Which pain do I choose? Do I choose the pain of sitting back in the dark, night after night, and nursing my son, and knowing that the day is coming when I can no longer hide him? Or do I choose this other kind of pain? There's this other kind of pain, and it's the pain of the risk of the unknown. It's the pain of letting go of the most important thing in the world to me and seeing where God will take it. That's where Jochebed found herself. And I want to say this again. Sometimes, because the choices we have are not the choices we want, we begin to believe the lie that we have no choice at all. But I want to tell you something that's not true. You always have a choice. You may not be able to choose what happens to you in life, okay? Jochebed didn't choose to live in Egypt at this time when there was this edict from Pharaoh. She didn't choose that. It was something that was thrust upon her. But in that space, in that time, in that hut, when no one was watching and no one saw her, and for all we know, she was bearing the weight of this on her own, there was a sliver of hope. And it lay not in a good choice, not in an incredible choice, but the only choice that could take her away from her circumstances. You see, there's always something we can do that backs us farther and farther and farther into the hole we've fallen into. And then there are other choices that take us step by step, inch by inch toward freedom. And yeah, if we look at Jochebed, Moses' mom, nobody could really blame her if she had just said, I'm just going to sit here and wait, and I'll just treasure every moment and treasure every day because I don't know when the soldiers are going to come, and there's no other choice. I don't have another choice. I'm just going to sit here and wait and treasure the time I have left. Nobody would blame her even for that. It's not even, it's the other choice is terrible too. But there was one choice that kept backing her into a corner, and there was another choice. As bad as it was, as risky as it was, it didn't look great either, but there was another choice that moved her toward hope. And I want to tell you today, I don't know what choices you might be facing in. I don't know what hut you're sitting in. I don't know what two types of pain you might be choosing between. But I want to encourage you today. I want to encourage you while we're here tonight. Choose hope. Make the choices that lead you toward God's truth. Make the choices that lead you toward faith. Make the choices that cause you to resist the plans of the enemy and the lies of the devil and the things that have you bound. Always, 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 we have a choice to turn our gaze to God's truth and turn our back toward our circumstances and turn our back toward the things that keep us down. I think of Jochebed on the edge. By the way, I would have no idea how to say her name if it wasn't for the movie Prince of Egypt. I only know I'd be like Jochebed, Jochebed. So I know this. I sound like really smart, but it's because of the movie The Prince of Egypt. I always remember, I think of this moment where she's making the basket and she's weaving it together and she's painting it with tar, and Miriam's standing next to her and saying, Mama, why are we doing this? What's going to happen to the baby? Why are you making this? What are we going to put in this? Oh, you'll see. You'll see. And she puts her baby in the basket and she walks him down to the river and she kneels down. Imagine that moment. On one side, as terrible as the inevitable choice will be, lies the safety and the comfort of the hut you've always known. At least you know what's there. You know what's going to happen. You know what's coming. It's worked this far. She's kept him hidden so far. But then, on the other hand, sliver of hope, but I've got my basket in the water, and there's this moment. Am I going to let go right here? Am I going to do it? Am I going to do the push off? Or am I going to take the basket back and go back to my hut? That moment. What a moment, huh? What a moment. Imagine that. To say, God, the safest way to escape your hand is to be in it. So let your hand be on this child. I think there's no way to overestimate the faith that moment took. You see, we like the Red Sea. We like the burning bush. We like the 10 plagues. Those are the exciting parts of the story, right? Those are the scene stealers.